Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Yashashri, the moderator for this conference. Welcome to the conference call of Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation Limited, arranged by Concept Investor Relations, to discuss its third quarter and 9 months ended December 31st, 2022. We have with us today Shri Roopwant Singh, IAS, Managing Director, Shri L. Kulshrestha, CGM, CFO, Shri A.K. Makaria, Senior General Manager Tech, Shri R.K. Dash, General Manager Marketing and Sales, Shri Swagat Ray, General Manager Project Planning and Development, Shrimati A.K. Iyer, General Manager Accounts, Shri J.N. Dave, General Manager Power, Shri Arun Sharma, Advisor Cement Sector, and Shri Joel Evans, Company Secretary. At this moment, all participants are in a listen-only mode. Later, we will conduct a question and answer session. At that time, if you have a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone keypad. Please note this conference is recorded. I would now like to hand over the floor to Shri Roopwant Singh, Chairman and Managing Director. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. We thank Concept Investor Relations, and we thank all the guests who joined in for this investor con call. GMDC has shared the results for its third quarter for the current financial year. We're open to questions, so we welcome you all.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 on their phone. If your question has been answered and you wish to withdraw your request, you may do so by pressing star and 2. Participants are requested to ask a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We have our first question from the line of Amit Dixit from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity. Congratulations for a good set of numbers. I have 2 questions. The first one is essentially on volume. So, given the 9 months performance and January month operating performance as well, what kind of volume are we looking for in FY23? And what would be your target for FY24? That is the first question.
Yes, please. And the second one, Amit?
Yeah, so the second one is if you can update us on the progress stroke any milestone achieved with respect to the studies being conducted by BCG and McKinsey for various projects and rare earth projects.
Which projects, Amit, would you like to focus on?
Sir, rare earth and multi-metal primarily.
Okay, right. So, Amit will reply with the first question. We had begun this financial year with an ambitious target of trying to reach 10 million tons. But 3 unforeseen things have hit us this year. One was a very, very good monsoon across the state, affecting all our 3 geographical areas where our mines are located. So, you must have seen quarter 2 was subdued. Some of its effect also overflowed into Q3. Number 2, in December, for the past 1 year, we have been facing issues with our Tarkeshwar project, that is in Surat. The project used to make a lot of money for the company and used to cater to our most voluminous and active customer base, that is the Surat customer base. That project has not been doing well, and it is closed for the past few months because of safety issues. There has been a major sliding there. There is no loss of life. The issue has to be solved on a technical level, and we hope it will take us 1.5 to 2 quarters to probably resolve it. but still we are unsure of what production we will achieve. So that has been the second hit. Third challenge has been exhaustion of quantity in the Bhavnagar project, but that is a solution in progress. The new RFP has divided the mine into two packages. So the work will henceforth be given to two contractors. We are in the final stages of award of the project, and you should see the results of increased production in the first quarter of next financial year. And we would like to again plan and touch 10 million tons in the coming year. And as far as the update on projects related to critical minerals, as regards the multi-metal project, the year was spent in doing geological studies, and the results have been very encouraging. The resource base, which was in excess of 10.5%, has gone up significantly by 1.5%. And next stage of exploration is planned now. The work is in an evolved stage. Once the geological data is solidified, we will move forward towards the other aspects of the project. As far as the rare earth is concerned, it is I'm not at liberty to share because it is in the critical minerals category. We are awaiting some approvals. If and when they come, we will share in full detail.
Okay, great, sir. Thanks for a very elaborate answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amit.
Thank you. A reminder to participants to press star and 1 to ask a question. We have our next question from the line of Shubham Agarwal from Equitas. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, sir. So my first question is, I wanted to understand what was our total volume of lignite sales externally for the quarter.
Okay. What else?
And secondly, broadly, I wanted to understand if you can elaborate on our new capital budget. How are we planning to deploy the 2,500 crore? And if you can broadly explain what will be the timeline of various projects and the amount that will be helpful for us.
A very elaborate question, Okay. Okay, Shubham. For the first question, I would request our General Manager, Marketing and Sales, Mr. Rajadas, to answer it fairly elaborately for you. For the second one, I'll answer it myself. Rajat, please.
Shubham, good afternoon. So till quarter 3, actually the total sale to open market and our power plants is to the tune of 55.78 lakh metric tons. Out of this 55.78 lakh metric tons, 42.49 was sold to the open market, and 13.29 was supplied to our own power plant as well as the power plant of GUVNL.
Okay.
So that is the split up, 42 and 13, total 55.78.
And for the capital budget, you must have seen compared to last year, the company has done well over the past 3-4 quarters. Our reserves have gone up, and hence we have come up with a very ambitious capital budget, which is 4 times the capital budget which was planned last year. The majority of this amount, in excess of 1,500 crores, goes towards land acquisition. 1 towards Tadkeshwar asset, 2 towards Bhavnagar asset, where we are planning expansion and resolution of certain issues, and the rest would go in the new lignite projects. Besides this, we have had small victories for GMDC. We have got permission for a 300 crore capex pass-through for the thermal power plant, which has been underperforming. So that is another important capex item. Besides this, there are capex items which are of not such high, which are not such large numbers, in the range of 5 crores, which are essentially beneficiation plants spread over our lignite projects and metal projects. So that is the plan.
Okay. So, but broadly, if you can help us also understand the timeline of various projects, that would be, very helpful.
Okay. Land acquisition, yes, work would start as soon as we would get board approval for land acquisition. We have already started preparatory activities a quarter back. Now we would go for final go-ahead for that. As far as the new projects is concerned, again, preparatory activities have started, but the expenditure would be would kick in a quarter or two later compared to existing projects. For the Thermal power plant turnaround, we have an aggressive timeline of turning around the asset in 12 months. So you should see a lot of RFPs in 2 to 3 months from now, and we should see a lot of work happening in Q2 and Q3 at the power plant. And as far as the smaller beneficiation plants are concerned, we are going to time it along with the engagement of new contractors. We're going to time it along with that so that the fund is spent at the appropriate time.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Shreyans Gathani from SG Securities. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. I had a couple of questions. So the first one is on the coal mines that GMDC has bid for. So last call you said that if we win certain mines, then it would change the target outputs by a very different number. So in the press release also you mentioned that there have been certain mines that GMDC has bid for. So just wanted to get some input from you on that. The second question is I'm a little confused on the Bhavnagar project. So is there like some issue that's going on which caused exhaustion, or was like that sudden exhaustion has come into the project, which is like not it was not pre-planned, or I'm not understanding why it would come to a standstill. Like Tatkeshwar, there's some sort of issue is something that I understand, but Bhavnagar is something that I wanted to know more about.
So that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let me answer the first question. As far as the coal mines auction is concerned, we are currently midway. The bidding is yet to start, and successful we will need to change ourselves in so many ways on the project execution side, on production side, on the marketing and sales side. We would need to change considerably. Not that work is not going on there. A lot of thought is going into it, but if we win, we will be taking these projects very aggressively in a very time-bound manner, because significant security will be at stake, and we treat it as any failure or delay. We will treat it as a reputational loss. So you should expect swift movement if we are successful in coal mines auction. Bhavnagar project, it is kind of the current pressure is linked to the crisis at Tatkeshwar. Bhavnagar and Tatkeshwar, they essentially service South Gujarat. And South Gujarat, the major portion is Surat. So Tatkeshwar was taking care of Surat. So we thought we had time to ramp up. But because of this Tatkeshwar collapse, the pressure came on Bhavnagar immediately to ramp up. Thankfully, we had put work in action. There is still time and quantity remaining for the existing contractor, but because of Tatkeshwar, it looks more like a crisis, but we'll resolve it.
Got it. And so when do we expect any results out of the auctions?
We should know in March, I believe.
Okay, got it. And is there any size of output that if he wins these blocks, is there what kind of output are we looking at?
Can't say at the moment because it's a bid. We can't really say.
Okay, got it.
But we have a marketing strategy. We have a indicative list of customers which we will be targeting. We have done our homework. The point is, if we win, it will be implementing will be the challenge.
Okay. Sorry, just one more question. On the RW project, so just on the timeline, so since the last few quarters we've been, mentioning that there is work going on over there. So just wanted to know when we should expect, something more concrete on that. I know that you already mentioned that there's a lot of progress that's happened.
I'll have to repeat the same answer. Apologies on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Ashish Kejriwal from Nuvama Institutional Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, a couple of questions. When we are talking about 10 million ton in next year, which are the mines where we can see incremental output in a major mine? Because Bhavnagar is the only mine which we think that can give more output, but I'm not sure whether we can achieve that in next year. So if you can throw some light on that. That's the first question. Second question is, besides these operating mines, we were, looking to open the new mine, which I think Lakhpat Dedari was the first one. So what's the target or what's the estimate for opening in that? And two bookkeeping questions. What is the cash and cash equivalent as of third quarter end? And CapEx, what we have done in 9 months and our target for FY23 and 24. Thank you.
Right. Ashish, the thrust in production will come from Bhavnagar. The ramp up will be very easy. We should see ourselves crossing. We have planned for 3.3 million tons just from Bhavnagar. So we should see these volumes being achieved. And we hope to solve the Tarkeshwar issue also and probably get decent production from that project also. As far as new mines are concerned, the first one to roll off, you should see Lakhpat, and you should see one more project, say groundbreaking again in Kutch, and we are aggressive for 2 projects in South Gujarat also. You should see award of all these projects in the coming financial year, and groundbreaking in 3 to 4 of them, and production for the rest in the coming financial year. We are going to move very aggressively there. As far as the cash reserves on Q3 and current capex, its status and what is our plan, I would request this is Anupama Iyer, General Manager Accounts, to please engage.
Hello, Ashish.
Yeah, ma'am.
As on 31st December, we have cash of around 2,500 crore with us, free cash reserves with us.
Okay.
And next, during the current financial year, on capex, we could not spend too much because major capex was planned for land only, and that work is going on. DPRs and everything is being prepared. So we have taken that to the next year's budget, and next year's capex budget are around 2,500 crore. Out of that, major is towards land only, and renovation of our Akrimota thermal power station.
So, ma'am, how much we have spent in FY23?
FY23, no major capex is planned.
Okay. So entire 2,500 crore you are saying that we can spend in FY24?
Yeah, in FY24 it is the major capex is planned because the preliminary work of the capex has been done in FY23, so we'll be able to spend during that year.
Okay. So again, to take it forward, so is it the main reason because of which our dividend distribution is low compared to other PSUs? That is one. And when, sir, you talked about Bhavnagar 3.3 million ton, are we targeting that in FY24 itself or should be in FY25?
Yes, and we give good dividend, Ashish, you know that. He's given record dividend last year.
Sir, actually, when we are talking about from the face value, it looks good, but when we are comparing with the yield, it looks very low, especially when we have 2,500 crore cash.
I believe the investor community should have faith in us and allow us to support us in this capex expenditure so that the company goes to newer levels.
Sure.
And the way the investor community sees us, that totally changes. That is what our aspiration is.
Yes, that's better. So, sir, just on harping on the Bhavnagar thing, we are doing 1.3, 1.4 million ton. So from 1.4 to 3.3 in a particular year, we have to do something really different. Then only we can do it in a year's time. Run rate, I don't know when we are going to achieve that kind of run rate, at least for a particular month. So, how confident we are for 3.3 million ton in FY24.
So I will give you 2 or 3 things, the way we are doing things differently there. One, instead of one mining contractor, there are 2 mining contractors who will be doing the job. So there are 2 packages. So 2 parties will hit the ground. Production should be better. Number 2, for the current projects, the major capex is going towards Bhavnagar. And 3, we will also explore. Now this is a work in progress. We will explore newer ways of evacuation from Bhavnagar to South Gujarat. That is a work in progress. We will hopefully let you know. Because the object would not be just to produce. The object would be ensure that it is consumed.
Understood. So, sir, just to get into more sense on Bhavnagar, is it just mining contractor issue, or we have to acquire further land also in order to increase our mining limit over there?
There is no issue. Acquisition of land is conditional, because if you have to set 2 packages and 2 contractors there, a large number of areas would have to be. There is no issue there.
Okay.
We had planned for expansion slightly later, but Tadkeshwar collapsed, so the thing has to be fast-tracked. That's it.
Understood. Okay, sir. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Jiten Parmar from Aurum Capital.
आप जिस व्यक्ति से बात कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने आपके
I'm sorry, you skipped the call on hold. We move on to the next question from the line of Pritesh Chheda from Lucky Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Sir, so there was a realization of 1600 that we were getting, and there was no price increase circular for FY23. So that realization continues, or there is any changes in realization?
Okay, Pritesh, one question. Any other?
And what is your call on realization for FY24 when you would have your next round of price circular?
Okay, I would like to request General Manager Marketing and Sales, Mr. Rajat Das, to answer the first question on our current realizations.
The current realization per metric ton is around 4,200 rupees. And for next year's realization, that depends actually, because we are operating in an environment where our immediate competitor is imported coal from Indonesian origin. So till time actually we are able to penetrate the market and sustain the price. And I think that that will be a question to answer in future days to come.
Is there any change in this 4,200 since the last 2 quarters, or it's a similar number?
By and large, it is similar, because we were maintaining the prices since April. There is a minor correction during February, during the first fortnight of February, but that's a very minor correction.
Okay. And on the volume side, now what kind of volumes would you do in FY23? Will you do 8 million or less than that?
We are targeting to match the production what was achieved during last year. So it will be close. It will be beyond 8 million. We are targeting the 8 million.
Last year we did
8.5.
8.5. So you'll try and match that.
That's changing that figure.
You have stock to sell, that extra stock. That's why you will be able to match it, or you will actually mine it.
No, actually, here we don't have any stock actually because we produce and we used to sell. So in that case, there are capacities and we are changing to match the production to the tune of last year's production. That's our ambition.
And lastly, this 2,400 crore capex that we are calling out, where are we spending this 2,400 crores? So I heard land and renovation of the 300 megawatt thermal power plant. Is this please if you could give some clarification.
These broad numbers, 2,500 crores, 1,500 crores goes into land acquisition. Out of this, 40% goes into brownfield projects, 60% goes into greenfield projects.
Okay.
Beyond that, there is a significant capex of 600 crores in capital machinery. Out of that, 50% goes into the thermal power plant, rest goes into small beneficiation plants. Besides, whatever is left is developing new colonies for assets, refurbishing old assets, refurbishing dead assets, dead cost centers. Every penny that is going to be spent has to get some return. So that is the ambition.
And any progress on the rare earth?
Pritish, I'll have to repeat my same answer. It is a critical mineral. There is certain secrecy involved. As we have we will give full details.
No problem. And lastly, when will the Pardi mine start decelerating in volume, and have we taken enough care that whenever Pardi mine starts decelerating in volume, there is some other mine which will pick up?
Which is what mine?
Pardi.
Raj Pardi.
Raj Pardi. Okay. Raj Pardi is the mine which is, you can say it is on its deathbed. We may see production for a year, or we may see a closure earlier also. So we are not betting big there, but the intention is to squeeze the last bit of water out, or wring the last drop of water out of the cloth there.
And how much volumes comes from there?
Marginal. A few lakh tons.
Okay, then it is okay.
It is very good product. The ambition there is Damlai new project which adjacent to Raj Pardi. So you would have seen the RFP which has been floated for Damlai. That is what we seek to close soon, and we expect groundbreaking in FY24. That again is product which is as good as Raj Pardi, and Raj Pardi is our best product, but limited at the moment. So bet on Damlai, which is adjacent to Raj Pardi.
Groundbreaking means start producing and selling, right? Or just starting
Groundbreaking means lot of mobilization, expenditure, and very minimal production.
So Bhavnagar is already ground broke and all that is done? Or
that is a brownfield project, no? So
Bhavnagar is brownfield. Okay.
So that is
okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Jiten Parmar from Aurum Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. Congratulations on a very good set of numbers. My question is regarding the cash, 2,500 crore cash which we have talked about. End of last financial year, I think it was around 1,400 crores. And obviously you have done well in the 9 months, so it is around 20. Can you give a breakup of, how that particular cash is deployed and what is the yield on that?
Well, Jiten, our cash reserves are with our banker, which is the state government banker also for this kind of reserve, which is GSFS, which is a non-banking finance company. The yield is pretty good. I would request our CFO, Mr. Kulashis, to shed light there. And yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Parmar.
Thank you.
We have deposited our cash surplus in GSFS, where we are getting interest at the rate of 6.5%. So you can say our yield is 6.5% on cash surplus.
Okay. Now, there was one particular entry about, balance with government authorities, about 122 crores or something. What could that be, and is it interest bearing?
That is not interest bearing.
Okay. So, balance with government authorities, I would like to know, what is that, and why we have kept that in?
My GM accounts will explain.
Balance with the government authority is the royalty advance which we have paid to the CGM office, because royalty we have to pay in the advance. That we show as a balance with the government authorities.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Rahul Jain from Systematics. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my question. So, thanks for providing a lot of details. So, I just want to get a more clearer picture. So, we are doing this massive capex in Bhavnagar. So, what is the roadmap on what? Because I understand this year you'll probably be ending up with 7 to 8 million tons. Is that not, I'm not mistaken? And how do you see volume shaping up over the next 2 years and 5 years? So, first is that. Secondly, on the coal prices, so this year was quite unusual. Obviously, we've seen a very large price increase. So we may not have a similar kind of price increase prevailing in, that would probably, there is some correction happen. So how do we see our cash flows mismatch? So do we intend to continue with it even when we see a weak scenario?
Well, Rahul, I'll answer the second question first. Well, price increases were needed because certain projects were bleeding and we wanted to prevent black marketing and at the same time ensure better realization for the company. So price corrections were done with that intention. Now, and while we were doing those price corrections, we were mindful that the entire marketing and sales strategy would be dynamic. And from taking cues from the market, we will soften the prices if there is softening in the imported coal price. At the same time, our booking amounts have improved since January, since we have ensured better customer engagement. You would have kindly visit our website. We have launched a new initiative whereby we grade our customers, and it is known as Customer Engagement Index. It is a public index where customers are gauged on their interaction with the company. And the better engaged customers are there. It is a dynamic score, and who do better are given additional allocation. This one initiative has ensured 10% more booking in the month of January. So, from crude implements like price rises in the previous quarters, we are moving towards finer implements, and we are open to price corrections, but at the same time sustaining sales and avoid any build-up of inventory. So that would be our goal.
Mm-hmm. So on the volume outlook, like for this year and 2 years, 3 years and 2 years and 5 years beyond?
This year you should look at above 8 million, say 8.5 million, and next year we would have a target of touching 10 million. And a few years from now, the number should be much, much better.
Right. So no, so the expansion, the 2,500 crores capital allocation we are doing, so what kind of numbers are we going to see from that? Because see, in the past, where I'm coming from, a lot of our investments have been below par, for example, the power plant and many other so we haven't really delivered much
I'm sorry, sir. We are losing your voice.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm saying in the past our projects haven't really been to the mark. So I'm just want to be sure in a sense what kind of longevity and numbers are we seeing for this new expansion that we're doing?
Rahul, when we are spending money this time, besides the land acquisition, that I believe is the most straightforward exercise, besides that, whatever capex is going to be happening now is going to be more sure-footed and would have a better governance system than in the past. As you would know, we have got permission for a 300 crore capex pass through from Gujarat Energy Regulatory Commission. Now that is a big confidence booster for GMDC. Along with that pass-through, our controller GUVNL has also agreed to relook the PPA terms. So these are big victories, and they are all conditional to better governance and better deployment of capital. And you shall see that in the current year, in the coming financial year.
Right, sir. Just can you give a number into what kind of volume 2,500 correspond to how much of additional lignite over 5 years down the line?
I didn't follow your question, Rahul.
No, I'm just trying to get a bridge. So spending 2,500 crores. So how much additional lignite should we expect in 3 years or 5 years whenever the project is complete?
So the expansion is gradual. In 2 to 3 years from now, you should see us standing at 30 to 15 million tons.
Right. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Falguni Datta from Jet 8 Securities Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello. Sir, I just had one question. Just wanted to confirm the sales volume to external sales volume for the quarter Q3. Is it 1.65 million ton? And how much is the decline versus same time last year?
Rajat, could you answer that question, please?
Good afternoon, Falgun. And yes, of course, there is a decline. This time, actually, we produced around 19.38 lakh metric ton. That translates into 1.93 million metric tons. And during the corresponding period of last year, the production was 2.2 million metric tons. So, of course, there is a decline. There is a decline to the tune of 13%.
Okay. And sir, is this number of mine correct? The external sales 1.65 million ton for the quarter?
I could not follow you.
I mean sales excluding the sales to our own power plant. I just wanted to clarify that's how we would get our realization, no? If we need to exclude this from the sales volume, the sales to our own captive plant, and respondingly remove the sales value also to get the realization. That's how we would do it, right?
Yeah, of course. Again, the supply to our own power plant and to the government-owned power plant is to the tune of 3 lakh to 4 lakhs. So you can minus it from 19.38.
But how much did you say? 3
to 4 lakhs.
3 to 4 lakhs, 0.3 million, okay. And sir, one more question. That's on the power plant. When do we expect things to improve there, and what is the big hindrance there in terms of performance improvement?
Ma'am, no hindrance. All hindrances have been removed. We just need 1 year to put things back in order. So please expect improvement from February 24 onwards.
Okay. Fine, sir. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Nalin Shah from NVS Brokerage Private Limited.
Very good afternoon. At the outset, let me congratulate the management for a bumper kind of a performance which you have put up. Excellent performance. I have a few questions. First is that current year, looking to the 9 months figure and the last year performance, I feel that we are going to be somewhere close to 3,700 to 4,000 crores on top line. On the top of that, we are incurring the capex of another 2,400, 500 crores of rupees over next 12 to 18 months. So my question is that when do you see the company going to $1 billion kind of a top line in next whether 2, 3, 4, 5 years? This is my first question.
Okay, Nalin, this is it's a big question. Right. Any other questions?
Haji?
Any other question?
Yeah. Second question is, sir, that you are saying that, you are declaring a very good dividend. But in terms of, shareholders' reward policy, are we going to have some kind of a distinct distribution policy that, okay, whatever the profits we realize, we will distribute 20% or 25% or 30% of the profits for the shareholders, and balance will be for whatever growth and expansion, etc.
So, Nalin, second question first.
Haji.
I'll answer both together.
Haji.
If we need to be $1 billion company,
Haji.
we need to plow back every piece of money at our hand.
Okay.
At the same time, the projects that we are plowing back into have phenomenally good IRR ratios.
Correct.
So investors should feel rest assured and have faith in the company for the coming 2 to 3 financial years,
right,
where the company would be in an expansion mode and new things would be opening up.
Wonderful.
And you should see a lot of work and a lot of groundbreaking in the coming financial year.
Okay. But, sir, can you give some idea about $1 billion top line kind of this thing, position?
My God, we never knew we had such good friends like you who have so much faith in us.
But you have created that faith during your last about 2.5, 3 years performance, that it has done wonderfully well.
Nalin, please have faith in this company. This company should be 3 or 4 times itself, provided it goes on the same trajectory in the coming 5 to 6 years.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have got my answer. My next question is, sir, that what is anything other than lignite is going to be, any other items of mining, products which are going to, add a lot of value to our company, like bauxite or any other things which are there? Because in your annual report, I see many items which are listed down. Maybe these are very significant in terms of volume and value, but are we expecting something big to come up?
Our aspiration is to have at least half our revenues coming from beyond lignite.
Okay.
Now, this is easier said than done.
Right.
Yes, it is a very difficult task to open a coal or lignite mine and to run it.
Correct.
To open and run a metal mine or a non-lignite mine is even tougher.
Okay.
So we have big tasks on our hand, and hopefully in the coming 2 to 3 years, we expect to move on it. But we expect to move on it more sure-footedly, better estimation of reserves, and that is the plan.
Okay. And the last question is, sir, you have already said something, but I just want to put it, differently on these rare earth elements. What we want to understand is this is the product or item which is, like in a normal mining operations comes out, or whether, some kind of identification, some kind of R&D, lab testing, etc. needs to be done to find out whether it is a rare earth items or not. And what kind of a potential, because we have heard in the past that rare earth has a, something very, very unimaginable kind of, advantages and, in terms of consumption or pricing, whether it is in domestic market or export market. If you can just give us some idea about this entire, segment.
Naren, we'll not give you some idea, we'll give you a detailed idea, but not at the...
Okay, no problem, sir. Thank you very much. Once again, my heartiest congratulations on your wonderful, the performance.
Thank you for your wishes and faith in us.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Keshav Garg from Counter Cyclical PMS. Please go ahead.
So just wanted to understand that it was mentioned some time back that we have some amount of bauxite and fluorospar that we can, especially the bauxite, that we can just auction after some benefaction, etc. Sir, so when can the basically revenues from the disposal of bauxite can be expected? Can they be expected in next financial year?
Our team, our metals technical division led by Mr. Makadia is on the job. He is here at the moment, and we are going to commence a pilot project on beneficiation. Mr. Makadia?
The disposal of the stock has...
I'm sorry, sir, you're not clearly audible.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
The disposal of the stock has already begun. We plan to commence our pilot by end of this February, and you will see a lot of improvement in case of bauxite very soon. Maybe probably in this financial year as a proof of concept, and next financial you will see the boom in the bauxite division.
Sir, and if you could just quantify, give us some idea that in next financial year, sir, can it be like 1 million ton of bauxite, or can it be any rough idea?
Probably we will be targeting around 0.88 million ton of the bauxite dispatch during next financial year.
So that is very encouraging to know. And sir, any movement on the fluorospar side?
Certainly, we have started our refurbishing our plant, and hopefully we want to make a trial run by 15th of August 2023 and commence the production by Q4.
Great, sir. That's really great. And sir, lastly, just wanted, sir, in your judgment for the next financial year, sir, what kind of lignite volumes you think that we can achieve in FY24?
So the lignite volume expected in next financial year is 10 million tons.
Great, sir. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Vinayak Anawalkar, and retail investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for the opportunity. This is a follow-up question which has been already asked. No, I'm not going to ask you about the timelines. But in the last con call, you had mentioned about two initiatives. One was the Project Shikhar, wherein you had engaged Boston Consulting Group for opportunities beyond lignite and rare earth elements. And the second one was, of course, McKinsey, which was to prepare a strategic roadmap for RE opportunity. Now, I just wanted to know if these reports have been submitted to you. What is the status of these initiatives? I'm not talking in terms of actual mining or actual finding what is the content, but have these consulting groups submitted the report, and are you going as per their timeline? That's my first question.
Any other question, please?
My second question would be, you said that out of 6.28 million tons of IHMS deposits, 10% approximately would be the metal content. And just a while ago, you also said that you are expecting 1.5% growth in metal content as per the revised estimate. So should we consider it as 11.5% metal content in IHMS deposits at Amba Dongar?
Okay, let me answer your first question first. As far as BCG work is concerned, Project Shikhar is under implementation. The consulting firm has done a commendable job of assessing the opportunities, big tickets, small ticket, where gains have to be made, and it is a work in progress. They have critically analyzed all our business streams, and the result has been good. It has been able to direct our efforts in the direction where significant gain is there. And as for the question on fluorospar, I would request Mr. Makadi again to respond to that.
Good afternoon. I think there was some confusion in our understanding or answering the question. I am trying to answer the questions. The 1.5% increase you were talking about was in a multi-metal project, Ambaji. The initial resources was expected to get a metal content of 10.5. But after the desktop study is being carried out and it's the verge of completion within 3-4 months, we see an improvement in the metal content in the ore. And that is 1.5 is at Ambaji multi-metal project.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have another question. You had talked about 300 crores capex for thermal power plant. So, sorry if I missed this. Is this a greenfield project or a brownfield expansion or refurbishment of the existing thermal power plant?
So the power plant is a brownfield project, is already in the operations. The 300 crore capex is a pass-through approved by JERC and will be deployed maybe from the quarter 2 or quarter 3, and you will see the result from February 2024.
Okay, thanks. And one last question from my side, sir. Are you doing anything to streamline your operations? Like if you have so much of reserves, even considering extended monsoon, extended what you can say strikes or agitations, can you not have a sustained growth year-on-year basis or quarter-on-quarter basis for as far as production is concerned? I am specifically talking of lignite. Like this year, you are actually doing almost less than what you did last year. Maybe can't you put in some things in place, improvements in place, wherein you can show year-on-year growth?
We'll add two things. One, natural disasters or disasters beyond control of the company. These are unfortunate incidents and we cannot plan. Number two, natural phenomena like excessive heavy rain, these are things which we again cannot control. Number three, as far as production of lignite is concerned, we produce and sell it directly. We do not stock. Stocking leads to additional costs and diminishing the returns from the asset. While I have said all these three things, I would also like to say we are going to embark on a process of digitizing our mines to ensure greater efficiency of mining operations, and which would result in a national saving of resources, where we seek to, through digitization of operations and use of internet devices, IoT devices, we would seek to control our variable costs, which would be significant. So in the coming year, you should see action on that, and we'll be sharing details of that.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your reply.
Thank you, sir.
That's it from me.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Govinlal Gilada, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. I have got two suggestions and two data point questions. So one thing is that, sir, this Turkeshwar, this landslide, all that, I request you to give a timely announcement to exchange. So we should not know from other sources. This information was circulated in WhatsApp group. I don't know where from they got this information. Second suggestion is, sir, press release, we should have some uniformity in giving the data points of production, all that. So this time you have given 9 months production. Sometimes you give quarterly production data also. This time you have not given. So we can keep track. Now, coming to my data point question, sir. Turkeshwar, I want to know, sir, December landslide. So how much production you have lost in December? Otherwise, what is the regular quarterly capacity of Turkeshwar? That is one thing. Then last question is on this 8.5 million we are guiding, sir. So 9 months we have done 5.73. So in one quarter, 2.77 million. Is it possible, sir? Because Turkeshwar, you told that whole this quarter will not be available. It will take 1.5 to 2 quarters. So Turkeshwar totally going out there. So how this max tallies 2.77 million ton doing in these 3 months? Last question is on realization, sir. Again, this is the last question. This coal imported prices have gone down something like 25-30%. And how with just minor correction in February, we are holding prices. That's all, sir, from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Govinlalji. Suggestions are noted. As far as the volume is concerned, we are chasing 8.5. Hopefully, we should get there. So these are ambitions. Yes, corrections upward and downwards. When we spoke of dynamic prices, it meant when the prices soften, we will make tactical changes. The idea is to offload and ensure continuous flow of resource and continuity of operations. As far as Tankeshwar is concerned, I would request Mr. Swagatve to share what they were producing.
Hello, good afternoon. In Tankeshwar, because of this landsliding, unfortunately, in the month of December, and prior to that, in the last quarter also, it occurred previously. So, for the 2 consecutive sliding, production has gone down by around 35%. So, that would have been better if we would be able to continue the production in the Tankeshwar, and our overall ambitious target would have been achieved.
Thank you.
Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. Okay. So this data point of 9 months, 5.73 production figure you have given. First quarter was 2.33. Third quarter you told 1.93. Is it right?
Yes. Yes, yes.
So second quarter it means 1.47. Second numbers.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's all from my side. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Somnath Paul, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. So a couple of questions. One is that given the great team that you have with you who are driving the company to next growth, so I see key management personnel as a major risk given the growth trajectory you are planning. So do you echo with these thoughts, and I mean, has there been some thought on how shall it proceed? And secondly, sir, I wanted to know what is the lignite, the industry whom we serve vis-a-vis the propane and the natural gas consumers, in the sense of there's a thrust for green energy usage, and a lot of them are converting to propane based. So in terms of cost per calorific value or availability, so some broader light on that, and do we see that as a threat in terms of compressing? Thank you.
For the key management personnel, I can say this with a lot of pride, that the second rung of leadership just below the general manager level is very good. And as we open new projects, we have very good people who can be moved into leadership positions. So it is a sense of pride for me as managing director and for the top management that very good people have been groomed in the second rung. And when the company expands, they will take over more weighty responsibilities. As far as propane is concerned, at the moment, that is not a issue we factor in while making our marketing and sales decisions. But thank you for the suggestion. We will take note of it, and we will be mindful of it.
Sir, could you throw some broader light on the general industries we serve compared to some clusters which suppose Morbi and other clusters which use propane and natural gas based input fuels, and in some broader sense of kind of industries consumption was vis-a-vis theirs?
Okay, I would request Mr. Rajat Das to give a flavor on major consumption area, the kind of use and restricted areas and everything.
Hello, good afternoon. Basically, we used to sort 3 to 4 clusters. One is Surat, and we are basically having textile industries, and they account for around 41% of our total sales volume. Apart from that, there is a major cluster at Morbi, and they used to produce, they are having ceramic industries. And another cluster is close to Ahmedabad, and it is a mixed kind of industries, and predominantly textile, and some other industries are also they are close to Ahmedabad cluster. So in terms of the use of solid fuels or fuels in these kind of clusters and in particular kind of industries, so as far as our knowledge is concerned, in textile belt they use lignite and imported coal as a mix to cater their fuel need. And at Ahmedabad, the trend is the same. But at Morbi, actually, there are two processes because they used to have two kind of process to produce this ceramic tiles or ceramic products. So in the initial process, they used to have they use lignite as well as imported coal as a mix, and in the downstream process they use gas. So this is the kind of fuel that have been used in different clusters and different type of industries.
Okay, so the risk I thought of making your team aware was that there could be a regulatory notice, and probably the demand might get affected in terms of shifting some part of consumption to cleaner fuels. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Because of those regulatory restrictions, they use those gases in the downstream processes in ceramic clusters. Thank you.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Paul?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Alpesh Sheth from Emphasis. Please go ahead.
Hi, team.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, firstly, thanks for the excellent results posted this quarter. To be frank, we are seeing now this happening very much in a consistent manner, sir. Which as an investor I was not able to see, or it was not happening in the past. So again, congratulations on the same. So my questions are a little bit related to the earlier participant. So we are taking many new and bold steps towards the growth of the company, which I totally understood and we are positive. But everything is skewed towards fossil fuels generation, correct? Now situation is very dynamic and agile. Nobody knows what's in the future, correct? So any due diligence are we parallelly doing if there are ban on some fossil fuels or there are some regulatory moving towards green? So in that case, yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Alpesh?
Yeah. The second thing was I think we have some partnership with iCreate. So that is more towards a good solutions or some EV related solutions or moving towards green. So just wanted to know something more about it because I saw we are a partner to that.
Okay. Yes, we are extremely concerned and mindful of the fact that we are a leader in fossil fuel production. And at the same time, we are mindful of the finite life of this fuel. And that is the reason why you would have seen we have engaged the best advice to take us forward on developing our assets which are beyond lignite. But at the same time, while we are developing these assets and it would take some time, we would be capitalizing on the assets that lie with us and ensure that they give full gain to the company and fuel our needs of capital which would be needed to take us towards the next stage in the growth of the company, that is beyond fossil fuels. As far as iCreate is concerned, it's an autonomous body. Our relationship is broadly limited to our contribution in setting it up. It is run by an autonomous board. I think we're not the right people to comment there, but since I'm personally on the board, I see very good work being done there.
Okay. So on continuation of the same thing, means can we also derive some value add from them in the future for the EV side or some towards green?
At the same time, we have our own institute which goes by the name of ICEM, Institute for Center for Excellence in Mining. We want to develop it so that it is, besides the training institute, it emerges as a solution provider to many of our needs. Hopefully in the coming 2 to 3 quarters, we should see movement there. At the moment, we're looking for a good CEO. If you have a good CV, please ask him to contact us. we'll definitely look at it.
Sure. The only worry for that fossil fuel, sir, was something happened somewhere in 2018-19 in Morbi, and we had suffered a huge production cut somewhere in the past. So that was the.
Yes, we are mindful. We will not go mindlessly expanding. We will produce only that much what we can sell.
Sure. Thanks.
We will expand our capacities, but produce only what is required.
Noted, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. As there are no more questions, I now hand over the call to management for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
So, I would like to thank all the participants for their insightful questions. And as always, it is a pleasure to know that there are people who know us so much better than us. And this, I mean, in a way of compliment, which helps us move towards newer levels of awareness in improving the performance of the company. Yes, this year till now has been very good, and point to be noted is we have our PBT figures have crossed the best ever results for an entire year in the history of the company. So this is a moment of great pride for the team working at the corporate office and each project which are currently running, and towards those projects which are going to be set up, and finally those projects which were left for the dead, they are going to also be revived. So compliments to all of them, and thanks to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you all for being part of the conference call. If you need any further information or clarification, please email Gaurav, that is gaurav.g@conceptpr.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your conference for today. Thank you for using Chorus Call conferencing services. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
The conference is no longer being recorded.